Welcome to SVG-TV News for Wednesday, September 13th, 2017. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Media practitioners in this country have been cautioned in their reporting of preliminary inquiry cases. They were cautioned about not publishing the names of witnesses, addresses, and other evidence in court today before the start of Day 2 of the preliminary inquiry hearing into the murder of former banker Randy Lawrence. Sharon Gary was there and tells us more in this report.
At the start of the serious offences court today, Prosecutor Adolphus Delplesh cautioned that from a regular meeting with the Director of Public Prosecution, DPP Colin Williams, and other prosecutors, the issue of media houses reporting on preliminary inquiry cases was one of the matters brought out on the agenda. Prosecutor Delplesh reminded media practitioners present in the courtroom of the Criminal Code Revised Edition 2009, Cap 171, Section 98, offences related to judicial proceedings, subsection G, which states that while a judicial proceeding is being held or is pending, makes or use any speech or writing misrepresenting such proceeding or capable of prejudicing any person in favor or against party to the proceeding or calculated to lower the authority of any person before whom the proceeding is being or to be held. The prosecutor also read from subsection H, which outlined from the offences related to judicial proceeding that anyone who publishes a report of the evidence taken in any judicial proceeding which is being held in private or which has been ordered not to be published. Subsection H further went on to state, evidence includes the name and address of any party of the proceeding, any witness, and any person mentioned in the proceeding. In reading the Criminal Code subsection H and G, lawyers Israel Bruce and Ronald Max both agreed with the prosecutor. Magistrate Rishon Brown then issued a caution to media houses about the importance of adhering to matters relating to reporting on preliminary inquiry cases, noting that if found guilty, it carries a 2-year maximum sentence. In seeking further legal advice on the matter, SVGTV News was told that reporting on preliminary inquiry cases are not disallowed. However, reports must not be a misrepresentation or prejudicial. However, there can be a gag order issued on a preliminary inquiry case. Sharon Garway, reporting for SVG Television News.
A local pastor is now in custody following reports of an alleged sexual molestation of a minor under the age of 13. SVG-TV News has learned that the pastor, who is in his late 30s, allegedly had inappropriate interaction with the minor on the Grenadine island of Canawan, where he was a minister. The matter is before the family court. Lawyer turned politician K. Bacchus Batiste says the vicious attacks perpetrated by a propaganda machine is what is preventing a lot of women here from getting involved in active politics. Bacchus Batiste, who is expected to be the NDP candidate for the West St. George constituency in the next general elections, on Boom FM's OMG program this morning, gave an example of a former female NDP senator, and Batiste stated that this alleged propaganda machine targets women in particular and is the main reason why there is a lack of women on the NDP platform.
The ULP propaganda machine is vicious. They are persons who dedicate themselves, being paid with taxpayers' money, to go on Star FM, to go on, I think, VFM, and to just viciously attack ULP persons and the NDP persons. And this treatment is especially reserved for women. Already the machine they have started attacking me, right? You remember Vinette Fredericks, who ran in the same constituency that I'm now running, West St. George, and how viciously she was attacked. You remember, I was one of the lawyers on her case who had to bring the case against Dr. Gonsalves for comments that were made about her sexuality. It was vicious, and I know she suffered because of it. There were persons attacking her as she went to work and calling her names as a result of what was said. I know the pain she went through. She even ended up being charged criminally, with that hanging over her for about 5 or 6 years being. How many women can withstand that onslaught?
Bacchus Batiste added that women have something unique to offer in the political arena and called for the end of fair tactics, which she says prevents a lot of women from participating in politics.
We're going to have more women, I think, on this platform this time, because women, of course, we bring a certain amount of, the Bible have given us, the Lord has given us that nurturing, caring soul. And so I believe that women can run things in a lot of respect, even better than men in some cases, right? So I think that once women begin to feel more empowered and liberated from this fear, more of them might even step forward. I think we might well see more women involved in this campaign.
According to Bacchus Batiste, she is running on a vision of hope, and so far she has been receiving overwhelming support.
Based on what I have seen so far, I am humbled and overwhelmed by the support that I've seen so far walking through. I intend to walk the walk and do the work. I don't intend to go on a mic and I intend to visit house to house. I intend to put my message across there. And just because I want to represent that broad vision of hope, I expect that it would be overwhelming, and it has so far turned out to be that way. The support is very humbling.
In light of the growing scourge of crime and violence here, which in most cases are committed by men, one organization, Project Men 2020, is doing its part to address issues which affect men as they prepare to host their annual conference and seminar slated for March 2018. At a media conference held earlier today, coordinator of the all-male organization, Conroy Huggins, said as a result of man's disobedience from God's original plan or intent, there has been a vivid decay in societies and cultures throughout the world.
What we have been seeing today and throughout the centuries is that because man is out of alignment with his creator and his divine order, man is, in a way, basically misrepresenting his roles. His role as husband has been compromised. His role as father has also been compromised. And as a result, we recognize that we are living in a generation today that is practically fatherless. In the Caribbean, we have a situation, and in St. Vincent, between 65 and 70% fatherlessness. As a result of all of this, our mothers and our women, we must congratulate them, but they are overloaded and they are overworked.
Highlighting that Project Men 2020 will join with the rest of the world on Sunday, November 19th to celebrate International Men's Day, Huggins extended a call for other religious bodies, groups, corporate societies, and other social organizations to get on board as they work together to not only address the issues affecting men, but also stamp out crime and violence.
This year, the theme is celebrating the diversity of men and boys for 2017. So in light of all that is taking place in our society today, we are making a call to the churches primarily on that day to have a message, a challenge, focus on men, challenging the men to step up and arise, challenging the men to be the men that they were created to be. And even in churches, men are struggling. Men are struggling. The church is made up of men who come from the same society. Host a national men's rally on that day, the evening. So we are right now working through logistics on that. And we will be partnering with churches, gender affairs, state entities, anybody, different bodies who are willing to join in this effort. Because at the end of the day, the social breakdown, the crime and violence, they're affecting all of us.
Since its inception in November 2013, the South Windward Farmers in Action Producers Cooperative Society Limited, SOWACO, like other established farmers' cooperatives, has provided an avenue for small farmers here in SVG to improve their quality of life. In keeping with this objective, the cooperative, at a ceremony on Tuesday evening, officially opened its office to further reach out to farmers and other persons in the South Windward constituency. Nikita Tony tells us more in this report.
From the government of Taiwan's ICDF project in the tune of $3 million, along with the support of the Ministries of Agriculture and National Mobilization, some 9 farmer cooperatives here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines have benefited from available technical support, training, agricultural supplies, and even obtaining their own physical space where they could further extend their reach in the community. In light of this, the South Windward Farmers in Action Producers Cooperative Society Limited, or SOAPCO, officially opened its office doors yesterday, Tuesday, September 12th, which according to its executives will significantly aid in their efforts to improve the quality of life for small farmers in their community. Thanking all involved parties, members of the cooperative, and the general public for their continued support, President of SOAPCO, Ingrid Neverson, noted that although the organization is not where it would like to be, they remain committed to their objectives.
Carefully around the building, you'll notice that the whole inside has been given a facelift. This was made possible by the ICDF project, who supplied all the material for the office, including paint. Although we are here not completely on our own, we are grateful to be here today and will do our part to strengthen our cooperative and to uplift this community.
Minister with the responsibility for cooperatives and area representative Frederick Stevenson congratulated SOAPCO on achieving such a milestone and urged the members to keep in mind that they are not just a part of a group, they are a part of a greater good.
Look at the quality and the quantity of the food that we produce here in these cooperatives. It is up now to you, the farmers who are part of this cooperative, to do what you know is best. I cannot, and the persons within the Ministry of Agriculture and the persons in the cooperatives can come and force you and tell you that you need to plant this and you need to plant that and you need to do the other thing. It is up to the commitment.
Urging the members of the cooperative to now look at a way forward, Senior Agricultural Officer Marcus Richards said that there is still more work to be done.
Go from here would depend on the level of commitment that each and every individual put into this organization, this group. Take advantage of the opportunity that is provided now through our technical support. Our officers have been highly committed to give you all the support that is necessary.
Featured speaker at last evening's event, Dr. Lennox Adams, emphasized the need to revive the spirit of entrepreneurship while tackling the issue of proper nutrition.
In the 21st century, we must not just think about working the land, but must be able to produce to feed ourselves, produce so as to feed other areas, produce so as to make careers out of agriculture. Put our resources together, and with the help of the people from the Taiwanese department, I believe that we can take this little effort and make it so much better.
SOAPCO is among 9 farmer cooperatives throughout SVG, which have and continue to benefit from the funding through the ICDF project, with another cooperative in the South Windward area set to open its doors later on next week. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
Meanwhile, reiterating the commitment of the government and people of Taiwan to continue providing technical assistance to build SVG's agricultural capacity, newly appointed Chief of the Taiwan Technical Mission, Jerry Liu, in his address at the opening ceremony, gave reasons why small farmers should be involved in cooperatives.
The ability of capacity for negotiation in the market, the exchange of technology or skills. Do we have power? Yes, but limited. Okay. Then what is the way that we can increase or enhance or strengthen our power? Is through the cooperation. Like the people who sit here, the member of cooperative.
Chief Liu further urged all cooperatives to continue to work along with the Taiwan Technical Mission.
The Taiwan Mission will be here to support the cooperative, then whether in way of techniques or equipment or whatsoever, then I hope in the future we still can work together. And please don't feel hesitant that come to us, or we will come to you time to time to see the field and to see how things are going.
A number of skilled workers here are seizing the opportunity to work or volunteer their service in the hurricane-ravaged British Virgin Islands. Speaking from the South Central Windward Learning Resource Center today was Liaison Officer Rachel Doyle, who stated that registration for persons who are seeking to work or volunteer their service in the BVI will continue until Friday. Doyle said since the call has been put out, a number of persons wishing to work in these islands or assist have been coming forward.
Registration will be taking place in 3 days, today, tomorrow and Fridays, between the hours of 9 a.m. and between the hours of 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. We are asking persons who is interested in registering, make sure they have a valid passport, and also we also recommend a criminal record. Also, we are asking people to specify whether or not they're looking for employment or they would like to volunteer their services. They're all welcome. The registration that we have here today, as you could see, there's a lot of persons that turned out for the registration today, and we are hoping that to see the same amount of persons tomorrow that turn out for the registration also.
Doyle took the opportunity to highlight the type of skilled workers which are most in need at this time.
Carpenter, masons, plumbers so far. I think also too it might be electrician, but right now we know carpenter, masons and plumbers they're looking for right now to volunteer, whether it's volunteering or employment. We are asking persons to make sure their passports are valid when they're registering. Persons who do not have a valid passport at this moment is also have some time to get a valid passport and have some time to get their police record up to date. It's just the same because all the documents that are needed are the same documents that is needed to make sure you're fit to take part in the program.
SVG-TV News team caught up with some of the persons wishing to travel to the BVI, and they all expressed gratitude for the opportunity to work as well as to assist in the rebuilding efforts there.
Well, right now I'm glad for the opportunity because nothing in St. Vincent to do. I like to go out there and do my best. Well, I feel proud of going and help because I don't know what will happen in St. Vincent and I'm going to need the same help. So, thanks for the opportunity.
It's a great opportunity. As a skillman, I got for this opportunity because this country real slow. So I have a good option to go there and make some money.
So if I do get you, I'll try and make the best out of it still. So thanks to the government still and whoever putting forward this. Greatly appreciated.
In relation to a small country like SVG, how does it feel that so many people are willing to go over and help another country?
Well, it feels good. It could have been us, so it feels good. Yeah.
Well, I see myself important like helping the others who can't really manage. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm more go out there to help because I had some relatives out there as well. So I volunteered to go out there. Well, that's very important because that's where we are far. Lend a helping hand when the time is right.
Building a country might take at least 5 or 6 years, depends on the works.
So you think your skills are absolutely...
Yeah, because I was out there before, and then I could make it. Well, at least, St. Vincent is small, but we have a lot of skills, and we need to go out and extra our skills more better than we should.
And just a quick correction to the name of the liaison officer from the Ministry of Agriculture in our previous story. Rather than Rachel Doyle, that name should be Michelle Doyle and not Rachel Doyle. We continue with the news. The St. Vincent Electricity Services VINLEC will be sending a team of 5 to Anguilla to aid in the restoration efforts there. Speaking with SVG-TV News, VINLEC's Communications Officer Tamara Job-Sprott said 4 of the 5 members will leave on Friday, while the supervisor will leave next Tuesday.
We are reaching out to our neighbors in the Caribbean who were affected by Hurricane Irma. On Friday of this week, we will have 4 members of a 5-member team leave for Anguilla, and they will aid in the restoration process on that Caribbean island. We have 4 linemen and the supervisor. The supervisor is Mr. Lonnie Gabriel, and he's assigned to the South River Police Power Station. We also have Mr. Timon Guy, Mr. Shane McDowell, Dale Michael, and Brian Dean. We are not sure yet how long they will stay. They will work with the team as long as possible to help restore electricity on that Caribbean island.
The VINLA communications officer also noted that a shipment of supplies would be leaving the state on Friday for the British Virgin Islands for the many Vincentians residing there.
And we have selected that island because we recognize that there are a large number of Vincentians living there, and we thought we should offer some assistance where possible. It is very important that we help each other. We are a part of a regional body called CARILEC, and so CARILEC really is an umbrella body for utilities across the region. And so usually in times of need, whether it's a hurricane or any other natural disaster, they will call upon member countries to assist where possible. So we are going to be working with Angola in this instance. We have worked with other countries in the past, and it's very important for us to offer assistance because we are a company who really like to reach out to others. And in the event that something happens in our country and we need assistance, of course, we'll call upon the others to do so.
And Digicel SVG on Tuesday, September 12th, announced that it is providing 100% of its prepaid customer base here with 10 minutes of free talk time for them to contact and connect with their loved ones who reside in the Hurricane Irma affected islands. The company says shortly after 8 a.m. on Tuesday, customers were given access to the one-off free talk time, which has an expiry of 7 days to call the hurricane-battered Caribbean countries, including Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, the British Virgin Islands, St. Kitts and Nevis, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. Country manager John Davies said they understand the need to be able to quickly connect with family and friends during and following any disaster, and they are happy to provide customers with some relief and with the means to do so.